Vincent Kennedy McMahon retired. How about that? Surprise! It's surprising. Absolutely not. To me, it's not. Well, let me rephrase that. It was surprising the fact that it actually happened. For fans who've been thinking about it, like, man, he should retire soon. But it's happened. The day finally happened. July 22nd, 2022. The day fans will always remember, the day McMahon is officially retired. Now, the question is to a lot of people is, will he stay away? He owns majority of the shareholders. So what's that actually mean? Well, he could possibly pull some strings here and there within the company, but will we be seeing him in a gorilla position? Most likely not. Most likely not. If you watch Friday Night SmackDown this past Friday, the 22nd, the night of the Vince McMahon announcement of the retirement, things seem a little bit laxed. What I mean by lax is the commentators seem very flowly. Seem like nobody was yelling their headsets for the commentary team for SmackDown. So things seem a little bit loose for SmackDown. So I guess that's a good thing. Good little notice. But let's talk about Vince. So obviously he's 76 years old. That's when he announced he's retiring. And let's talk about the pros and cons, the good and bad. So let's talk about the negative stuff, just to get that out of the way. So obviously these allegations, it's bad. It's bad. It's a no-no. Things he have done and allegations like the non-disclosure agreements, yeah, that's not good. Obviously there's other stuff he's probably hiding in the past 40 years. If you've been watching the documentary series Dark Side of the Ring, which you can find on Vice TV, obviously his character has been portrayed in some of these episodes, doing cover-ups on certain wrestlers' issues and whatnot. So obviously there is a lot of stuff out there it's going to remain hidden until he's not on the planet, or it's going to be a while until the stuff gets uncovered, or it will never get uncovered. Are there more allegations? Possibly. There's no guarantee it'll be announced anytime soon, but I could be wrong. But with all this, at the age he's at, it definitely makes sense for him to step down. Absolutely. Just to retire. Absolutely. But that's all the negative stuff. I mean, minus bad creative, making some silly choices when it comes to wrestler names. As I mentioned, creative. Making certain words allow on national TV, like certain terminology, like you can't use belts, have to be championships. Can't beat fans. It has to be the WWE Universe. Stuff like that, stupid simple stuff. And obviously changing the wrestler's last name and become one name, like instead of Austin Theory, you're going to get Theory. So that being said, those are the minor things, small things, negative things from Vince. Now let's talk about the grander, the bigger stuff, the positive things that Vince done. And he accomplished a lot. I mean, just looking back in Vince's history since day one when he bought the company from his father, Vince Sr., he accomplished more than no other multimedia, big billionaire person could accomplish. Vince accomplished everything that he could in the world of pro wrestling. If you think about that, I mean, he bought the territory. I mean, he pretty much cleaned up the whole territories back in the 80s. Mid-South, the Mid-Atlantic, AWA. So, I mean, he cleaned up the territory days back in the 80s. He pretty much killed it. Vince, who ran the WWF over there in New York, the Northeast, and he pretty much stormtrooped through the territories and start taking these major buildings like the sports arenas that a lot of these territories ran. and grew into a giant empire in the late 80s. Obviously, WrestleMania. He was one of the key opponents that created the phenomenon WrestleMania. Brought in these celebrities from back in the 80s. Took Hulk Hogan from the AWA. Make him a megastar. Macho Man. Rowdy Piper from the Northwest. So Vince was gathering all these guys, got them TV time, and made them a mega stars. And that was shot the WWF to a whole new level. Now, yes, even in the early 90s, mid 90s, were a little goofy. Things were creative, were going to a different direction. And look, man, The Undertaker. The guy created The Undertaker. He eventually threw Glenn Jacobs as Kane. I mean, just stuff like that. Now, obviously, you had the Attitude Era, the golden age of the WWF / WWE, the Monday Night Wars. Come on. Austin versus McMahon. Beautiful. Perfect. It fit in that era. And again, competition. He took out WCW. So he took out the territories in the 80s. Late 80s, I forgot to mention Herb Abrams, the UWF. He took them down. Well, actually, they kind of fell apart themselves. That was competition. Squared off with WCW for weeks and took them down. Then the early 2000s, a new wave of generation came in. John Cena, Randy Orton, Batista. Vince created a whole new era. And he came in TNA Wrestling. Obviously, they tried to put up a fight on Monday Night Raw, and they didn't work out well. And look where they're at right now. And to think about it now, competition for Vince, the NFL, is gone beyond broader, past the wrestling industry. His competition is everything that's on television. That's his competition. Guy's always competitive, and he admits it. He admitted on the Pat McAfee show that he's a competitive guy. But yeah, Vince is a genius. But there are some things that are bad, that are worse, not good. And there are some things that were just perfectly genius move by Vince. Vince is not a perfect person, but he did a lot to entertain us, the fans, across the world. And anybody who off the streets, you can say WWE or WWF, at some point within his past generations, will tell you what part of the WWF / WWE was in their life. I mean, you can go up to someone and say, were you a wrestling fan back then? And they either say they watch Hulk Hogan on TV with Macho Man, or they witnessed Rock and Austin live on TV, or the NWO from WCW, or the John Cena's. So there's generations of WWF / WWE fans that were affected by McMahon's image and creations. So it's stuff like that need to be brought out to attention about Vince. He did a lot. He did a lot to shape what pro wrestling / sports entertainment is today. So Vince posted a tweet, and again, this tweet's been out if you have paying attention in the world of pro wrestling or not. If you did, feel free to follow along. But WWE posted a tweet. I'm going to see if I can pull up the original tweet here, coming from McMahon. See, so he did posted a tweet on the 22nd, Friday. Also, it said they're extremely confident at the success of WWE. This is a quote from Vince, and I quote, "I have our company in the capable hands of extraordinary groups of superstars, employees, and executives. In particular, both chairwoman and CEO, co-CEO, Stephanie McMahon and Nick Khan." So there you have it. Nick Khan and Stephanie McMahon, co-CEO. How's that going to work? Well, Nick Khan's a businessman. Stephanie, she can possibly take care of the wrestling side of the aspect. So some people are saying co-CEOs will not work. Some will say it will. Only time can tell. And Vince also posted as well that he said he is a majority shareholder and he will continue to support the WWE in any way I can, I quote. And he ends his tweet here stating, I quote, "My personal thanks to the community and the business partners, shareholders, the board of directors for the guidance and support through the years." So there you have it. And now Triple H. He is now taking over the EVP, live events, and in my understanding, creative. So he is taking over John Laurinaitis, Johnny Ace position. Assumption he is out of the company. So there you have it, man. The future of WWE. Now, the next question I have in mind, with WWE switching from PG-13 to PG-14, how does this affect the near future for the WWE? Who's going to be taking care of creative? Assumption Triple H will probably be in Gorilla. So there's a lot of questions to ask about the future of WWE. And is it going to be in the right direction like the NXT? The old NXT, I should say. How successful it was. Could it go towards that direction? Will they have 50 writers behind the scenes writing scripts? So there's a lot of questions. A lot of questions the fans want to know. There's yet to be determined. So all eyes are on the product each and every week and see how much it improves. So, but Vince McMahon retires. We'll see if he's going to be on a golf course playing golf or just hanging out, watching some movies, or taking strolls on a private beach somewhere on an island. Who knows? Who knows? Or will he make his return after the allegations are cleared out? Again, this is Vince, the most powerful man in pro wrestling. We'll have to wait and see. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe today. You can find me on all major podcast outlets, on Twitter, and on Twitch, Riffs and Body Slams. And don't forget to follow my official Riffs and Body Slams original channel, Pro Shot Concerts and Wrestling Videos. Subscribe today.